Rotten tomatoes. Tomorrow's fine for shaking the table. Tonight, I'm eating my lasers. You wanna try fruits of my labor? I heard them by completely misbehaving. So sweet to taste, nothing but flavor. Yeah, I enjoy the fruits of my labor. La da da da, la 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 la, la da da da, la 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 la. I'll try to share my weight. Don't even try, and I'll be late. And you try to wind me down to my table. I know the fruits of my labor. You won't try the fruits of my labor. I heard them by completely misbehaving. So sweet to taste, nothing but flavor. Yeah, I enjoy the fruits of my labor. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. You wanna try the fruits of my labor? I heard them not completely misbehaving. Sweet to taste, nothing but flavor. Yeah, I enjoy the fruits of my labor. You wanna try the fruits of my labor? I heard them not completely misbehaving. So sweet to taste, nothing but flavor. Yeah, I enjoy the fruits of my labor. La da da da, la 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 la, la da da da, la 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 la. All right, we'll stop that. Better without the music, though. We don't have new music yet, so we'll get to it sometime. We got a lot of stuff we're working on right now. Let me get everything. I just knocked my computer stand over a little bit. All right. Anyway, too many things going on at the wrong or at the same time. Getting hard to find intel for some reason. Why? Yeah, it ought to be getting scarce by now. Uh, they got to be running out of stuff to talk about. Anyway, I thought Ari was going to get to join us, but she's got the coof. Hopefully, she's feeling better today. She's having a headache and running a fever and stuff like that. But anyway, I've asked Remote to come over and visit with us for a little bit. I sent him a link. I don't know whether he got it. I sent out a couple of links. I don't know whether anybody got it. I forgot to hit send on some of them. But we got a whole bunch of new ideas for the channel. We're still going to have a good time over here. We're still going to have a lot of fun. But I wanted to redirect to things that we see, that we can see and touch now. The things maybe we can't control, but things we should be aware of. One of the things that was brought to my attention right before showtime was I was talking to a man who knows a man that's high in the investment world, and he's got lots of money invested in it. And he says that the Federal Reserve, which we've all been told has been absorbed into the Treasury, had a big meeting today, and they're talking about putting their interest rates could go up 4 to 6 times what it is now. And I know probably interest rates are still a pretty good low, but 4 to 6 times by March is a huge amount of number. The that could change. If you got high interest credit cards, it's going to devastate the family. Well, then if you look at the lighter side of it, somebody said to look at the bright side of it, that sometimes the feds will do that to slow inflation. So I don't know how all that works. I've actually asked this guy to come on and talk to us, and we'll get into some of those conversations with. And I'm sure there's people that know a lot more about it than me. I'm kind of new to some of that issues, and don't know. Um, the Supreme Court justice announcing his retirement is going to be that could be a huge move. I don't know that they don't have time to get another one in there before election time. And why it's critical for them is because they could get an extremist in there if they can push it through before the midterms. Well, if it goes past the midterms and we can actually win some of our control back, the chances of us getting a fairly moderate Supreme Court justice in there is way more likely, and the courts will, kind of at least maybe even find somebody in the middle ground. That's a huge thing that's another thing that I've been learning about. Being involved in a local environment to things that we can touch, feel, and influence is a big thing. That's a huge thing in my opinion, because if we don't push back at whatever level we can reach, then we're going to be in trouble. Financially challenged. I don't have to worry about balancing my check, but it's always empty. Another thing that we were talking about, like the state of West Virginia last year had a higher Republican percentage of registered voters than it's had in 60, 70 years, maybe. I don't know what the number is. I haven't gotten back to that part of it either. But that's a huge deal, and I think that may be another reason that Manchin is holding off, because he knows if he messes up, he's going to be in big trouble. I don't guess Remote got my email. I'll see. Let me send it to him again. So I don't know. Just there's so many things. There was 3 huge things today that just they blow my mind. And for me to get through that kind of information is a little harder than it is for some other people, because I haven't read enough to be I don't read enough to keep my reading skills sharp enough. It's getting easier every day. That's kind of how mine is. But anyway, we're gonna do some. We're still gonna have our fun nights. We've got maybe some Art Bell type stuff planned for one day a week or something, and then the stream's broke. I don't know. I'll have to go check it out. Let me go look. I can't see it yet. Oh, okay. Everybody was over on the other one. That's what happened. I don't know why it does that. I didn't end the other stream. I just went live. So I don't know how that works. That's crazy. So I just wasted a whole bunch of air for nothing. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to find it now. Yep, it still is. Okay, no, it's not running now. It says that people are waiting. Wow, that's crazy. See, I went to remotes earlier, and it did the same kind of thing to me. So I don't know what that is. YouTube crisis and backup channels. Got everything twisted, no doubt. But they're all connected through different places, so I don't understand what the deal is. I don't know how to share that. I don't know how to share that to the other side. I had a reminder to send me this one. Okay, well, let's go to here. I'll drop that link. Oh, I can't. I don't think I can. Yes, I can. Maybe. Good golly. All right, it's muted. There we go. Copy. Let me go back over here. Let's do this one. Look, now it just shows the one. The other one's disappeared. Why did it do that? Well, let's try this. Back up one more time. Oh, there it is. I don't know. It is still showing two chats. It won't drop. That won't drop a link in there. Could one of them mod? Pretty pleased. I'm on the 7 one and it won't let me. It won't let me drop the. Oh gosh, yeah. There's still there's still 36 of them over there. And oh, what a mess. Now watch it come on and start screaming at us. Maybe. Nope. I did it without screaming at us. There was no echo. Yes. Oh my. There it went. It's that's crazy. Dropped it with the other. That what? How does that? I can't make it. I can't make it. Usually I can get it to go over there, but it's just saying no. It's saying no. Nope. I'm not gonna go over there anymore. And it's a struggle. And what happens is I get too many windows open, and I can't figure out which one of my logins are logged in. And if you grab a link with one identity and drag it over to another one, it drops it just as a just as a regular deal. It doesn't even. I always start off with a train wreck, but it doesn't. If I would do it in the same one, it'll show it as a link. But if I do it over there, I'm gonna have to mod myself over there so I can drop links when I get confused. I appreciate you dropping that over there. Like I said, I'm going 90 miles an hour here. Let's see if remote is responded. Sent. Well, maybe I can't find it. Where is sent? There it is. Okay, yeah. All right, let's do this. Pose. There we go. There we go. I know I'm begging for a wrench on my own channel. But somebody's going to have to come over here and teach me how to do it. I know how to do it. I didn't have everything where it normally goes. If everything was where it normally goes, then it would have been fine. But this, see, I can do this. This will work. This is the new channel, just in case. Because see, they told us today they were going to take this one for 7 days. So this will be the new one. If you can't find us, we'll be on this one. I'll try to get a link to the. I actually did put up a link on the community page for this one that will be there. So, oh, mercy. Confusion, confusion, confusion. Now let's go back and see. I don't know that I sent that. I did not. Apparently. Oh yes, I did. No, that's the 2. Why, Mister? There we go. So what's everybody else know today? Tell me some good news. I'm there we go. Okay, I finally got that sent to Squirrel. Yeah, Squirrel's right, Paul. That's exactly right. All right, which one of these am I in here? Let's search. Okay, so let's go here. And that we want to change. We want to go to here. There we go. I'll have to go wrench myself now if I can find myself. We want this. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Now I think I've got it figured out. Good golly, chat's smoking on here. All right. So that's not going to work. Everybody loves a good train wreck, right? We, we, we want Intel, things to be heating up. Yeah, I've give up on most of the Intel stuff. I just I don't know. I've heard a lot of things floating around in the world, but till something happens, I won't even get excited anymore. I just can't. I can't keep having a false hope for something that's just not there. Uh oh, watch out, Rex. Now, if I could only figure out how to get this, I know what I can do here. I can do this. Watch this. Why did it do that? I got something screwy. I've got my windows all messed up, so I'm telling you, I am making a mess out of this deal. Mess out of this deal. That's not it. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna nuke the stream. I'm not gonna nuke the stream. I know you're sitting over there laughing at me. I can't help it. I've got to try to figure out how to change that back. I know what it is. I know what it is. But I don't know how to get there. I can't get there from here, so we'll set it up. We'll set it up tomorrow, and I'll figure it out. I can sit here and drive myself crazy. That's all I can do. I can put the bad music back on if you want. But anyway, there is a lot of things going on. There's gonna be a lot of really interesting stuff that we're gonna cover too, because we're gonna dig into some stuff that you want to talk about rabbit holes. We're gonna dig into some rabbit holes. Maybe we'll get the cricket. Yeah, we can get the cricket back someday. Everybody missed the cricket, and I never could hear it, but I actually found him in the shop one day. Now what's going on? we got it there? It's fixed. Okay, maybe. I don't know if it's fixed or not. I didn't get. I didn't get. I didn't get done what I wanted done. But so anyway, what do you guys got on your mind? I've sent the link out to several people. I don't know whether anybody's going to get it or not. I'm going to quit dropping the link in the chat for a little bit until we get some more technical stuff figured out. Just because tech guys, it's important, and we have a two authenticity check to come on the panel because that's another thing that we're not doing that could be causing us some grief. It could have caused us all the stuff the other day. Some people will tell you it doesn't make a difference, and some people will tell you that it does. For one, I don't know, but going through what we went through the other day, yeah, the crickets are good. I think the trucker convoy was awesome. I enjoy. Actually watched that live last night. There was a ton on the northern border. I'm in the red. I'm gonna reboot. That any better?
I swear I didn't do it. He'll be back.
I'm here.
Oh.
It just started buffering, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I had to redo it. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
As requested.
You have a few questions?
No, I said as requested.
Oh, you started answering questions. Okay.
No. You were supposed to have other guests on, and you requested that I come on because your other guests were not able to make it. So
well, I don't know where Remote went. He said he would stop by. I was going to. Well, Ari was actually supposed to come in and talk some stuff talk to us about some stuff. And one of the things that we talked about is getting our young kids involved in the in our local or in our election process and what politics are going on in the world, and our children. A lot of our children don't know, and if we don't leave it for our children or grandchildren, who's going to do it for them?
well, she would definitely be a great addition to be a regular show. I would think. She's been on before, and of course you have Brandon, who I don't think he's been on the channel, has he? But he's the new tech guru, and he's a great guy, and he's got a great perspective on all of the things we talk about on here.
Yeah, he does, and he's and he's younger too. The getting these younger people in an impact in how their lives with their children and their grandchildren go, and wanting to take directions the way that I'm wanting this channel to go with talking about some of the new topics that I want to start covering. We can still cover the fun stuff. We don't have to be serious every night, but I think we need to get to the steak and potatoes of the deal and do what we can to make a difference. What's your thoughts?
Well, you and I talk a lot. I mean, off air, when off stream, and we pretty much talk every day about the news, and we send each other links. And one of the things is we've noticed a few patterns emerging, a few if you look at the news cycle on a given day, there's certain kind of categories of news, and they're all kind of, I think, we talked about this afternoon, they're all kind of converging towards the 2022 midterms. If you talk about the Justice Breyer uh, resignation, he's not resigning until October, I believe, at the end of the Supreme Court session. It's going to be right before the midterms, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of moving pieces with that, with the timing of it and how it could possibly play out. You could do an entire show talking about that, but I think it is, the midterms are going to how that nomination is handled, how filling the vacancy ends up. So there's a lot to discuss there. We also talked about the COVID narrative, which is crumbling. I wouldn't say crumbling; it's being kind of actively dismantled. It was put together and orchestrated to begin with, and now it's being kind of systematically dismantled. And I don't know about you, but in my how my governor and how my state legislature handled COVID is going to factor into those 2022 elections. I mean, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing in West Virginia.
When you're, just like you made the comment, you live behind the blue curtain up there.
Yeah.
Here you get these folks out here. They love their. I may have too many windows open.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's I think the windows might be causing your stream to cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did talk. Okay, and we did talk about that. So that's kind of the other kind of thing. And so at least where I live, but I think around the country, how your governor and how your legislature handled the COVID and the response to it is going to factor into the election. People want accountability for some of the things that have happened, what it's done to their states. I think it's going to be maybe more of an issue and more intense here because of my governor. It was who followed the Biden line, by the book. And he also, his wife has ties to testing companies and things. So those conflicts of interest are already, the GOP frontrunner is already bringing them up, and rightfully so. So the COVID narrative and where we go from here, coming out of this situation is going to factor in. And then we have, the nitty gritty of the 2022 races in states, and Trump's endorsements of certain candidates, and who's running and who's being primaried, and how to get the best conservative candidates is something you could talk about endlessly on this channel. So I think all those things are converging, and focusing on 2022 can take you in a lot of directions, and I think productive discussions on the channel that are going to be of interest to your audience, all over the country.
Yes, it could have a huge effect on a lot of stuff.
And I know I send you video clips and certain things. So we have to have like some kind of, I don't know, tech summit or something with Brandon. So make it easier for you to share some of those on the stream. For people who miss it, people working during the day. I think, at 10 o'clock at night, well, at 10 time at Eastern here, but people have been listening to the news all day, and there's a lot of people kind of doing a news recap or kind of a rundown of the highlights. But at this hour, people just, I think, they just would like a place to discuss these kind of things in kind of a safe environment with like-minded people. And I see you, kind of moving the channel in that direction, which I think is going to be great for everybody because your audience is growing. I check the numbers every morning, and you know they're all on the upswing, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I think we're still going to have a lot of fun. That, that's not the point. The point is to me, in my mind, the midterms are going to be a huge difference, a huge difference, and we have to we have to do a little bit of focus on it. I hear somebody say every day, "I'm never voting again. I'm never voting again." They win. They win when we do that. Sorry, they win when we do that.
Well, you're handing the Democrats, victory on a silver platter, and why do that? We talked about the fact that not so much at the national level or the national races, but uh, at the local or the state, we have the state level. A lot of state legislative seats are open, run unopposed. So those are places you can really make an impact. Like in a state like mine, we have a uh, we have a special election coming up. The last special election we had for a state legislative seat went to a Republican, and it wasn't expected to. So that's a great example of people um, not throwing in the towel and not saying, it's just a blue state, whatever. They came out and voted, and they flipped a seat, and we're hoping to flip another one. And it might not turn the state legislature red immediately, but it's definitely a step in the right direction and trending the right way. So, you don't want to give up a single seat. You want to be in the fight. Uh, and when people say, well, there's no point in voting, well, if we can flip a local seat, we can flip a state. But we have to come out in numbers, and that's straight out of number 45's mouth. He said you have to come out in overwhelming numbers and overwhelm the system. So we can't do it if people on our side are sitting it out. So I know that's a point that you really want to drive home and you want to talk about a lot on the channel, and you have.
Yeah. Well, I think these things they're coming more evident every day that people need to know what's going on. Um, because if one of us is not going to matter, if we all do, it's gonna make a difference. At some point, unity is what's gonna bring us together, and it's gonna save us. If we don't have it, and I've said it forever, if we don't have unity, they win, and it's a sad deal, unfortunately.
Did Remote get his link?
I don't think you. Oh, there's remote. Remote. I emailed you a link. But what I'm hoping we can do is we can bring awareness to some of the. Let's talk about some of the state senate races. Let's bring awareness to some of those that have run unchallenged for how long. Get somebody in there that'll at least try to make a difference. I'll do it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I know D Dog will serve me with a affidavit the next day, but I'll go in there and do what I think I can do. Can I win? Probably not. But why are we letting these other people just get walkaways? They're riding an endless balloon because nobody will step up to the plate and try to get interested.
Well, I see a comment and in the chat that it says if you use a machine to cast a ballot, you're an idiot. So I guess my question is, what's the remedy? How do you counteract that?
Right, because um, I one of the ladies that's a regular on here the other night come in and said that they're not even offering paper where she's at. She's in Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, I mean, right. So the answer is all paper, and Jeff B has that in the comment. Um, but how do you get there? I mean, you have to do it through your state. I mentioned, I think last week, the guy that's running for governor in Michigan, the GOP candidate, said that his first order of business is going to be to cancel the contracts with the voting machine companies. So that's how you get it done. Um, will these things be done before the 2022 midterms? Probably not in most states, or definitely not in all. But it's, that's where you need to do the work at the local level.
We need to direct our energy, though. Hi, Remote.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Remote.
Good. How are you?
Good to see you both. It's been a while.
We're trying to get some direction to bring attention to what's coming up in 2022. I've sat for a year waiting on something to happen, and I think that there's a lot of things going on that Joy and I have been talking about to get involved and try to get people to get involved. What's your thoughts?
Well, we got to definitely stay prayed up and stay in the full armor of God. We got to look out for each other and not be turning on each other. Stay united. I think that's probably the most important thing.
Absolutely.
We've seen a bit of the divide and conquer tactics working, and we can't allow that to happen.
No, and you're exactly right. We got to move forward and know your neighbor, love your neighbor, help your neighbor. I'll say that continuously, because the problem is somebody's always going to throw us a curveball.
Yeah. So, speaking of staying prayed up, would you like me to say a prayer for your new incarnation?
Absolutely.
Heavenly Father God, for my dear brother Travis, and on day 16, and for everybody that comes into this chat, we just ask you, Lord, to keep us all blessed in the Holy Spirit, united in the Holy Spirit, loving one another, lifting each other up, looking forward to the positive changes, and not being negative or down on each other. We must stay positive and stay in the fight for good. And we ask you to gird us up in the full armor of God and keep us on the most appropriate path to get there without violence, unless we have no choice, Lord. We must stay completely united, peaceful, loving, but standing and drawing a line against this evil. And we pray this in the Holy Spirit and in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Thank you, Remote.
I'm also hanging out over at Dave Snedeker's, so I'm going to head out, but I wanted to come in and say hi and tell you I love you and say a prayer, and I'll catch you again soon.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Pardon me?
Did you get your package yet?
I didn't get a package, no.
Okay, it's on its way. I promise. I mailed it.
Well, lots of people have mailed stuff that hasn't arrived here. It's the border, so just I'll give you a heads up when it's here, bud.
It's all going to hit at once. They're holding it up. It's going to get stuck in the truckers' strike now, brother.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but yeah. That's a good happening as well. Amen.
Amen. I've been watching a bunch of the lives on the bridge going in there, and man, those Trudeau don't know what he started.
That lineup of trucks is over 300 miles long now.
Is that right? Yeah. That is awesome. That's how we make a difference. Stick together, and you couldn't have got 5 truck drivers talked into that, but somehow it happened.
The Lord works in mysterious ways, brother.
Yes, he does. And maybe this will be the awakening that the rest of the world needs, because apparently our people in the United States aren't wanting to pay attention to it.
You've got Hutterites and Mennonite colonies all along the way, feeding everybody. It's like everybody is uniting. People have had their fair share of our illustrious leader, if you know what I mean.
Yep, I do. I sure do.
I love you all so much. You take care of yourselves.
Love you too, brother. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you.
We're praying for you guys in Canada. Big time.
Amen.
We're going to get this done, peoples.
That's right.
Amen.
Tomorrow's a new day. Always nice when the remote stops by. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt us while we were conversating, but uh,
Not interrupting me.
I didn't want to hold remote up. He's a busy man.
No, I would have prepared something for the show tonight, but it kind of took me by surprise. Um, you know,
Well, I'd like to.
I don't want to be.
I'd like to ask Ree to get more involved because um, you send me content that I still haven't gotten through all of, even taking yesterday off. I did read up on a bunch of it, but now it's all mangled in my mind. So we'll start picking a topic and figure out how to, you know, organize it a little differently. You know, it'll still be shoot from the hip, but we'll maybe you could help me organize. Would you be interested in that?
Oh, sure. Whenever you invite me on, I say I come in. So um, I'm happy to. I'm always happy to be on here. We've had some great conversations on here, and all kidding aside, and all kidding and joking about executive producing. Um, that's all in fun. It's lighthearted, and some people take it very seriously or feeling like me taking over the channel. That's not it at all. We're friends, and sometimes we have such good conversations off air. We try to bring some of that on here because I think it helps people. And your show's been on a roll. You had some great ladies' nights with Guardian and Silver Girl, and so I'm hoping things will settle down and you can do more of that because I know that's a big part of where the show's going to go. So
Yeah. Well, and just like you said, when you went in and made the executive order channel, you told me you were going to do it, and I laughed about it, and then we talked about it, and I'm sure I'm sure it hurt a bunch of people's feelings. Come on, guys. If y'all don't know what funny is, it's just we everybody wants to have a good time.
yeah.
Um, and I went with it. She threw it out there, and I went with it. She's the new executive producer. My daughter even said so. She said, "There you go, Dad."
But it's like anything. The chat is welcome. I mean, up until recently, kind of locked things down a little bit. We had to, because of stuff that's been going on. But anybody could call in. And how many times have I logged in? I had no intention of coming up. I get a text, Joy. Why don't you join the panel? But anybody could. You drop the link in the chat very often. So if somebody has something that's interesting and to talk about, the door's always open. It always has been on this show that I can see.
Yeah,
So
we're going to slow that down for a little bit just because of technical issues while we're tracing some things.
yeah,
And the double authenticity thing is a big deal now. So I don't know exactly what that means, but you have to show 2 proofs of identity before it lets you in the room.
even I have to have a code word to get on. So
Did you? Yeah, and if I tried to get in there, it may throw me out. I don't know.
well, if you're live channels at the same time, it could get dicey. But just kidding.
I don't know. See.
I don't know. But yeah, so I was sorry to hear about Arian, but hopefully she'll be doing better. She was supposed to be she was going to be in the driver's seat tonight. She was going to be hosting, so.
Yeah, she was going to. She got the tooth, and they tested positive, and she has a headache. She said that's the worst it's been. She said, but her head's bothering her.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll be the worst of it. We'll pray for that. So.
Well, thank you, Starlight.
Yes, thank you, Starlight. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll have the beer drinking night where we'll have a trigger word that everybody's got to drink on, and we'll get silly and goofy.
Nobody wants to talk about SCOTUS on Friday night at 10 o'clock. Friday night's kind of a good night for that. We got to figure out. Well, you got to figure out who you're going to invite on that panel because everything's in flux, but it should be fun.
Right,
I'll listen.
It's not going to be for everybody, and if it's not, then that's okay. We'll we'll still have some fun, I promise. But I want to stick to some of the things that make a difference. That maybe people don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't know that my kid actually knew that taught me something about some things. There's a lot we can teach each other if we'll just use our tools together, use them together.
Well, you mentioned Art Bell. I wonder how many of the people in chat know about Art Bell.
Oh, they always to put some of the craziest stuff out there, but it was always fun. I was a trucker, and he'd do the all night trucker show. It wasn't an all night trucker show. I don't remember what it's called. And man, I would listen to that stuff, and
Well,
it
he
was
was
all
a
based.
great,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
he was
yeah.
a great broadcaster, and you know, uh, I used to listen to him. I wasn't a trucker, but I actually worked third shift for many years, and I'd be on my computer at home, and um, I'd have him on in the background. And you would talk about go down rabbit holes. He was the original. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
And
I
what was
could
the
see you
latest?
doing a whole show modeled on him. That'd be a great show.
Just go back and pick through some of his shows and talk about some of the stuff that they talked about that would be fun.
Yeah, even if he did it once a week and went down, he used to mix it up too. He didn't he would talk about like he would talk about everything, UFOs, every conspiracy theory you can imagine. And then he talked about politics as well. So he was like kind of a perfect model for you because it's like you can kind of enter there's room for all of that. And it was perfect for late night too because it was kind of like it was entertaining and didn't get you too stressed out. There's no arguing or fighting, and he knew how to handle trolls like a pro. He was the original. So
Right. Well, and he would entertain stuff that he didn't believe. He would put stuff on there that he didn't necessarily believe. He was always
yeah,
even. He was always on the level.
yeah, yeah.
They'd talk about their stuff, and they would go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to. I don't need to be on here necessarily if you want to drop the link, but um, I saw your text and
I could send that. I could email that to him. Like that's what we were talking about earlier. I don't want to just drop the link in the chat per se. I'll
oh,
send it out. I'll send it out to specific people. I send it out to several people,
okay,
and they're welcome to come on if they want to. They're not. They don't have to, but I'd absolutely send him a link if Trump supporter wants to.
yeah. So somebody asked what Art Bell has to do with saving the country. Well, nothing. I mean, he's not even alive, but
Just something to break.
is, yeah. Well, and you're thinking about kind of where you want to take the show, so um, that model is very intriguing, and I know that's one that appeals to you, so that's why he was brought up. But he's not alive, so he's not going to be influencing the
No.
election.
Actually the way that started is you and I were talking about some of the CAI files, um, and some of the things that they've released are just ridiculous. And that's kind of how we went around. And you said, well, you talked about our host of the world was Art Bell, because they would talk about some of the strange and things that were going on.
Well, especially on the weekend, the news cycle kind of slows down, and usually, talked some of the hot topics and the hot news items to death. So that would be a good time. And I know you have some people like Dreamweaver and crypto was in the news. We could really use a discussion about crypto.
Right, because the government's going after the cryptocurrency now, correct?
Well, I read today something about, I think Biden wants to address, it was interesting. He wants to address cryptocurrency as a matter of national security. So that's kind of scary and interesting. So that would be a great discussion to have with Dreamweaver.
It would.
about the implications of that, because I think the move is toward Fed coin or a digital dollar. So these, again, you see the narratives kind of converging. We know that the Fed is pushing towards this digital currency. So an executive order aimed at regulating other crypto seems like it's right in line with that movement. So
Right. And actually, we were talking about the guy that my cousin's ex father-in-law. He is heavily invested in the stock market, and he was seeing some things. And actually, I was having a great conversation with Lonnie, and he had to go. And he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll get you in touch with the guy and let him come on and at least tell you what he thinks." And I mean, this guy's a multi-millionaire. He's and he bets on the wrong markets, or he bets on the markets when they do weird stuff, because that's what he's trained himself to do. He's actually kind of self-trained. I don't know that he's been to school for it, and maybe he has. He may be able to, he'll enlighten us. I've never met this guy, but there's so many things that you have to watch when you're investing. When the stock market fell 1,000 points the other day, he dumped $50,000 in it immediately and tripled his money.
he bought the dip?
Yeah, when he watched the dip, I don't know how you would even. I wouldn't have the first idea, and he's not going to give anybody any financial information. He'll just tell you what he did and why he did it. And I'm not going to run out and do it, because I can't. I don't have the money to do that kind of stuff. But
Well, it'd be great somebody come on and talk about the Federal Reserve and really go in depth about that, because it's not at all my area of expertise. I have kind of a basic working knowledge, but I think it's going to be important for us to understand what's going on, because it sounded like today they were going to be making a decision on interest rates in March. So I think we're all going to need to study up on what's happening and keep an eye on it.
right, yeah, that Federal Reserve thing has been on my radar for a little bit, and I let it go, because if you listen to some of the truthers, they were saying that it was absorbed into the Treasury. Well, they did do something with it, but I don't know what it was, and I could never get any straight answers out of anybody. And the news sure as hell wasn't going to tell us anything. And now all of a sudden they're going to come back and say, well, they're just going to raise interest 4 to 6 times what it is now. That's going to be a huge impact. These credit cards are going to be. I don't even want to know what the interest is going to be on them. It's going to be unreal.
Yeah, well, it's going to affect things like being able to buy a house or a car, all of these things. So, I know people have, theories about what's going on with the Treasury and all that. But, the reality is, you need to finance cars and do all these things. And the interest rate's going to affect you no matter, no matter what. That's reality. So
Right. Somebody's saying that for a future show we need to have Wayne Jett. I don't know who that is. Does
I don't
anybody
know. I'll have to scroll through chat and see. I agree. Taking on debt is not a good thing. I'm not advocating that. I own my house outright. The reasons for that, and I try to pay cash for everything. But especially after COVID, it's going to be tougher and tougher for people to do that, and even tougher with interest rates rising. So
Right.
that's all I'm saying.
And well, and what's that going to do to the housing market between now and March for the people that are paying attention to it? Are they going to run out?
Yes.
There's been a fad in West Virginia. Um, People stopped putting their houses on the market, and they started auctioning them off. And they did it because they were bringing bigger prices than what they were appraised at. In some cases, it was double. So it's nearing an end. If it's nearing an end, if that's true, because once interest goes up, the housing market's going to crash.
Right. Well, I mean, you see this. We saw during COVID, this housing bubble. The bubble always bursts. We've been through that kind of cycle before. So,
Yeah,
I'd love to see you get, find. He said Wayne Jetson is the name. Um, or get someone who can, like a financial expert who can break down some of these issues and tell us, what we should our eye on. Not necessarily giving us a financial advice, but what are the trends we should be watching? And we kind of sense that there's kind of a storm brewing with the financial sector. But I'd love to have somebody come here and kind of sort it out for us.
yeah. It would be it would be somebody. Even my cousin's ex-father-in-law. He
Okay,
could
so
he
that
could
was a
come.
joke.
He could tell us what he does. He's not
Oh,
going to
here.
give us any information, but he can tell us what his insight is to the market and why he thinks it is. I don't have any skin in that game. I'm not going to have any skin in that game anytime soon. So uh,
Oh, we got trolled. Well, not trolled, but Wayne Jetson. That was a. I totally missed it. He was joking. Wayne Jetson. Um,
I don't know who
that's
that is.
funny. No, it's a joke, like the Jetsons. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
I'm reading chat and I'm going through here. Trying to keep an eye on it and respond to people. And it was that one got right past me. It's late. Sorry. Sorry.
I can't keep up with the stat that fast. Uh,
Yeah.
the biggest issue is municipalities' general funds. They're typically adjustable as rates rise, making those interest on those bonds a problem for cities that borrow money at 0%. Yeah, see, I don't. That's deeper than my comprehension level. Those are the kinds of things that I want to find out about, though.
Yeah, we should have. I mean, if he wants to come up on panel, that'd be great. It sounds like he knows his stuff.
Do what now?
Call him Hawkeye if he wants to come up on panel sometime. Let us know.
Yeah. Well, I've actually asked my cousin to reach out to him and let him come in and just try to explain some stuff. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting because those are the things that can make you or break you in a down market too. If your car or your washing machine doesn't work, kick it. George Chet, his boy Elroy, and his wife Jane. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm,
See, he
I'm
totally
just,
trolled me. He totally trolled me, and he got it right through. See, Art Bell would not be pleased because he'd be like, "How did you not see that?" Sorry.
oh, that's funny.
That's right. Yeah. I can, and actually, I'm starting to sing the Jetson song in my head as soon as I saw that. I'm like, oh boy, got me.
I was fine till you said that. Now I can hear it. We'll start out with the Jetsons on our Bell night.
I know. Well, every night is Art Bell night. But yeah, so and again, the one thing I liked about him is he would politics, but not in in a way that was so different than what you would get on the news or listening to other radio programs. He'd come at it from a really unique angle, uh, and that's what made it so great. Such great listening, especially at late night. So you know,
Well, he had a way. He had his own way of addressing that stuff and not making it creepy. He,
yeah.
he would
Well,
he would he
even
would spark,
creepy topics. Yeah, yeah,
he would spark your interest,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and I like to listen to that kind of stuff. All
Yeah,
the
and
way
like
back.
you can't do the same topic every single night. People, you kind of like beat. It's like beating a dead horse. You got to mix it up a little bit, and it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll have a good
Right
mix,
now you're in. I think your channel's a little bit in transition, which is good. I mean, not a bad thing.
and we'll get back. We'll have some. We can have some intel nights. I don't mind doing those. I just think that it, um, instead of just having the intel, let's talk about the things that we can change and the things that are willing to. A lot of people aren't willing to change, to make changes. A lot of people don't like change. I understand that. One of the things that I have learned living in West Virginia is that um, these people, they don't like change. So this is a lot of how these politicians get reelected is their name. If they have a certain name, and if it's familiar to people, they don't deviate from it. They don't care whether they're good, bad, or other. They don't care. They concentrate on who they know or who they think they know, and um, that's one of the things that we need to hopefully change on a local level. So that's why I get out into the street every day and I talk to somebody about, and they'll bring up strange conversations, and then we'll go on to, I'll get into what I think, how I think I see things, and some of those kinds of things. Christie is informative. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you have a lot of people in your audience. They're asking for intel. I mean, you I'm not the person for that, but you do have people who come up on here periodically and talk about those things. So, and then you have people who are sort of not into it either. So, you can definitely do all of the above. So,
Well, we could go back and read some of that stuff and throw it out there, but I'm not all that interested in it. And one of the reasons that I'm not is a lot of that stuff I don't know about, and there's been so much has gone past that I'm not going to. I'm not going backwards. I want to hope for the best and work towards the best.
yeah.
And I want to combat it at every level. I don't know where Rhino's at. I sent him a link the other night. He didn't get it till late. He may have to restart his phone if he's in there.
Mm.
But but I'm not going to sit down and read through something that I'm not 100% convinced of. I'll sit down and read something that I'm interested in finding out. But getting me to read something is kind of hard. Um, I read things, but if I don't want to know what it says, I'm not going to read it. If you send me a text message that's this long, just remember, I will read down till I think it needs to be responded to. I'm not going all the way to the bottom. It may take me 3 days to get back there and go, oh, I was supposed to read the rest of that.
Guilty.
Well, the squirrel 17 gets in the way and I have to stop and go on to a different deal.
Yeah. I'm just checking the news here to see. A lot of times while we're on here, there'll be like news breaking. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else we need to talk about. Usually the chat, though, Conservative Cowboy usually puts good stuff in the
Yeah, Conservative Cowboy, and somehow or another they got blocked. I unblocked them.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. We had a few things we needed to fix. A couple people emailed me, and I think you fixed all their. You unblocked them as well, so that's good. So I don't know. So the other thing, I know you're working on kind of a schedule for the week. Kind of, we have ladies' night one night, maybe
We always have some
Veterans Night another.
I love it when the ladies call in.
Yeah.
They can come on and talk about Intel. We can talk about knitting. I don't know how to knit, but I know how to crochet.
Yeah. We can do embroidery. We can do all that stuff if you really want. But and I know we want to do. The Supreme Court is going to be, deciding some other cases that are not related to COVID, but other things about college admissions and some religious freedom cases. So I know that's kind of like, if you're into that kind of topic, it's kind of hard to like focus on it, and people don't want anything heavy late at night. But we did an afternoon program when the SCOTUS rulings came down. So we'll start doing things in the afternoon like that for people who are interested in that topic. It's not for everybody. We got a good response to that, so I'm hoping you invite me on to do some of those. Because we really had some good discussions and some good commentary in the chat about those as well.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, we've had some discussion about the truckers. The 30-mile long um, trucks going to Canada is a huge deal. It's I don't know how many they're going to have up there, but I watched the bridge going into Canada last night for quite some time, and it is packed 10 trucks deep. They have no idea the magnitude that's coming. I heard somebody say today that they would they would that they'd run Trudeau back out of what excuse me, capital. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah, I was somebody come in, and I'd love to hear more about it. I'm in a Telegram group that has nothing to do with trucking. It actually has to do with parental rights, but it's kind of a mother's kind of group. And but she's in Canada, and she was talking about it. So I mean, everybody's talking about it. You know, no expert on it, but it's big. I don't know how long it's supposed to be going on. Even I really, I'm just catching bits and pieces. So
What the truckers, well, and and another point that was made today is they've raised $4.5 million for this, and Trudeau come out and said that it was a terrorist group and froze all of their assets.
this goes back to discussion that some panelists were having a show probably a week ago or so about that term, domestic terrorist, and how it's been broadened to cover anything that leftists don't like, and that's a perfect example.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why it's so dangerous.
But I'll tell you another reason that the magnitude of this is going to be real to them is just because they froze their money hasn't slowed those guys down. I can't. I mean, I was trying to pull that bridge back up. I was going to show that bridge again tonight because it is. Whew, it was packed most of the night last night.
Yeah, it's like a live cam, right?
Yes, it's a live cam of the border crossing. Yeah, they're having to use their own money. Most of them have been fired. They're going for broke. It's make it or break it time. And unfortunately, the people that are up there, when those trucks stop delivering those goods, things will get a little bit ugly. So, and this is my advice and my advice only: don't buy stuff you don't need. Buy stuff you do need, and the less they have to put on a truck, the more goods that you really need can get on a truck. I said that in another one of my on another one of my shows, and people are going, "Oh, you're just being ridiculous." Well, think about it. If you're going out and buying furniture that takes up most of a semi, how much groceries could you put in there? How many bags of beans can you get on that train? Intel seems to.
Someone in chat said that they had a GoFundMe. There was a GoFundMe for the truckers, the Canadian truckers. So I was trying to see if we could get the
GoFundMe open
a
for
link.
the funds for the truckers. I heard. Okay, that's good. I didn't know that. I knew that they were trying to block that, but I knew Trudeau was trying to block it, and of course he is. He's playing it down like there's going to be 15 trucks show up there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be near that good or near that slow.
Well, he's hiding. He's got the koofy woofy. So, or he actually doesn't have it. He said that he's just isolating. He was exposed to it. So, perfect timing.
The GoFundMe I donated on live chats. Okay. Yeah, and that may be a better thing to do, because why give GoFundMe 30%? If those guys have got some direct links, that would sure be a deal. I'll actually do some looking tomorrow if we can follow those. If we can find some of those, I'll actually put them out there. There we go. Call me Hawkeye is He's our we'll give him an invite to the SCOTUS night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'd be an interesting thing, because there's a lot of that stuff that I don't comprehend, and there's a lot of stuff I've learned, and I'm trying to get better.
Well, I mean, we're waiting for some rulings on cases that have been heard, and there's some oral arguments that are coming up. Beyond just the OSHA thing is kind of gone away because, at least for the businesses over 100 employees, that OSHA mandate was rescinded. But you still have plenty of other pieces to the mandates for healthcare workers and things. Those issues are still out there. So.
Right. Well, and I'll tell you something else. Our healthcare workers now, if they test positive, they only get 5 days off. That's it. Why? How's that reasonable to the rest of the rest? They told us 10 days,
Right.
but now it's you're only contagious for a couple days. Now wait a minute. Which one is that?
Well, again, so they're dismantling a narrative that they put together, and you're seeing it happen in real time in the news every day.
Yes.
So it wasn't, remember early on, during when the initial when initially hit, the mantra was, we follow the science. We have to follow the science. We have to follow the science. And the science hasn't changed, but the narrative has. And so now we're looking in retrospect at a lot of things that many people didn't add up in the first place. And now we were maybe a year ahead, 8 months ahead. Now you're seeing it go the other way. Why?
Well, it's all coming to a head now.
Yeah. Well, and again, you have the midterms looming, and that's not all of it, but that's definitely part of it. These people they want to get reelected, and people are not happy with the mixed messaging regarding the virus, with the horrible marketing and the flat out untruths about jab. So you have all those are going to be factors. And I saw it, and it was an article, and I have to find it for you, but it was in a pretty liberal publication saying that politicians are going to they're being held to account in the elections about their COVID response. And I thought, well, that's interesting coming from a super liberal publication. So if they're saying it, it's coming. So.
Right. Well, and that's just like the Chucky Schumer video that I was talking about today. He went on there and said, we've got to change the filibuster now because they're afraid that if they don't get back in power, they want to change all this bullshit right now, so it's over.
Right. Well, whenever you see them kind of change a rule, it's because it's there's an advantage for them to do it. They've gone back and forth about the filibuster and changing it so many times I can't even count. And it's kind of that ping pong, that party ping pong. They're for it, then they're against it when the other side could use it to their advantage. Same thing with all the threats. Remember when was inaugurated, the threats about packing the court. That was kind of like it wasn't even a veiled threat. It was an actual threat that they would do it, and they haven't. But it's kind of, it was out there as a way to kind of manipulate the conversation. So.
Sorry, I had to stick my tongue out at Miss Dreamweaver. She stuck her tongue out at me.
Oh, I'm glad to see her in there. We missed her.
But yeah, what they try to do is they try to change it, like when they see a power shift. And he made a comment. I was going to write it down. I didn't have my notebook in here, but he made a comment that he doesn't care whether his people are in power or in jeopardy or jeopardizing their election or not, he doesn't care. And he used a word that I don't know. And I was going to look that word up, but I've been fairly busy this afternoon.
Oh, I didn't hear. I'll see if I can pull it up somewhere.
It's a Tucker Carlson. It's a Tucker Carlson clip, and
Oh, okay.
he did.
I'll see if I can find it for you for tomorrow. I also saw another good clip. I think I sent it to you. Was and you could, anybody who's interested can find it. He posted on Thomas Massey, who's representative from Kentucky. He had an interview with Steve Deese about COVID, and he cut right to the chase about the narrative and all the holes in the narrative. And I sent it to you. I think I emailed it to you, but
That's what
I'm going to try to.
Email it. Did you email it? If you emailed it, I'm going to drop that link. I thought that was a great piece.
Yeah, I mean, I love Thomas Massey. I love him, and he's very no nonsense about these things. You run your show, and I'll get the link, and I'm going to put it in the chat. But it's not long, but I thought it was very well done.
I thought it was very well done too, and he makes some very valid points. I'm pulling my email up now.
But it's on his. If you follow him, I got the link.
Okay.
But I'm going to put it in the chat. But
yeah, if everybody could click on that link, because that's a really good video. That's a good question. I don't know yet. Call me Hawkeye, but I will. I will know the sheriff here soon. I will know. I'll get involved locally. All right, let's get I don't know what happened. It's right there. Oh, it's going over here. Okay. Maybe.
I just dropped it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good watch. It's worth every second. Bribing with blackberry gravy, Miss Stream. We were making carry the boxes. You know we will. You promise him a food coma later.
Are they packing boxes or unpacking or both?
They're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the better videos that I've seen. And he even breaks it down that it's all falling apart too.
Yeah, and and he's, I think, if I remember this right, I think he has a degree, a master's degree from MIT. So he's not he's not like a virologist or anything like that, or like a biological scientist. But he does have a science background, so he's no slouch when it comes to scientific and that sort of thing. So, and I guess he had COVID before, and he tested positive for it again. So he was talking about, he was talking about kind of the politics of it, and natural immunity and that kind of thing. So it was really good.
Yes, it was.
Nice to know that guys like him are in the House of Representatives. I wish he was from my state. So.
Well, and what's the guy's name that's been grilling the good Dr. Frankenstein?
Oh, Rand Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
also,
I don't know how much further they can shove him into a corner before he has to get in trouble here.
Well, we haven't heard too much from him lately. I mean, a little bit, every time he does speak, it's horrifying, but we haven't, he hasn't been all over the TV. He's been kind of sidelined. So
yeah,
I think probably the slapdown with the OSHA mandate is probably could be part of that. Because he's there to sell the jab.
Yeah. Oh, of course he is. And when you even go back a couple of days ago when he's going, what about your financials? I can't find your financials. And he's like, well, they're on public record and da 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 da. Then if he can't find them, I'm sure as hell not going to find them.
Oh yeah, Fauci's. Well, they have them. They've got them.
Right.
Are we allowed to say Fauci on YouTube?
I don't know.
We'll find out if you get another strike.
Yeah, but we didn't get a strike. We got a warning. They said that nothing would come, but they also said that I couldn't broadcast live here for 7 days, which is the exact same thing they did on the other one, except they sided with me on the strike, and I still can't go live on it. So, if anybody's smarter than me and knows what that's all about, Dr. Fawcett.
Yeah, you need like a YouTube consultant to figure out like the difference between the warning strike and a timeout.
Well, I haven't
They
had
don't
any
make it
strike.
easy.
I haven't had any strikes,
Yeah, that's good.
and I don't intend to, but it's bound to happen. It
And
seems like the more traction we get, the more attention we get, and they're paying more attention to us. So,
did you announce your backup channel? The name of your backup channel?
I did not. We're going to be on the truth or the search for truth 17 if we lose this one, guys.
Should be easy to remember.
I just skipped right on up there to 17. Everybody's going to remember it. It ought to be a good one. Yeah, we use code word.
Yeah, we try to remember to use coded words. It's hard,
Well,
it's hard to keep up. Yeah.
We shouldn't have to. We're not giving anybody any advice. We're just talking about things. We're not saying anything that the lamestream media is not talking about. I don't understand why they think it's such a problem for us as laymen. Can't talk about those things. Yeah, Paul is right. Dr. F probably works for Big Pharma. I want to know how much his kickback is. No, Mary, it's not. But if you'll get in touch, email me, and I will. If you want some more stuff, I will absolutely get it to you. I'm gonna have. That reminds me, I've got to have a fight with PayPal tomorrow because I'm way extended on it, and they won't let me collect any of even the shipping back.
Yeah, I don't. Is Brandon working on the store for you?
No, we're gonna have to go with the whole new website probably. So. It is what it is.
You're going to need a whole staff pretty soon.
I don't know. It's this is so busy for I don't take anything for this, but it's a 16-hour day for me.
Yeah. I think you got muted.
No, you're not muted. Your signal went bad, and then it turned right back to green.
Yeah.
Weird. That's exactly right, Claire. Whoops.
Oh yeah, Claire's talking about PayPal. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a ton of money. If I could just collect what I've got in shipping, that'd be fine. Marx's playbook.
I heard something. I don't. Maybe somebody in the chat would know. I was just watching. I was just scrolling through YouTube earlier before the show went on, and it sounds like one of the prepping channels, one of the big ones, got demonetized. I don't know if that's true. They were talking about. I mean, I know as far as censorship, they've been censoring the prepping channels. Like trying to make preppers seem like dangerous, or I don't know the name of the channel, but I heard that one of the ones that a lot of people follow got completely demonetized today. So I'm hoping that's not true. But with YouTube, it's very difficult.
The senator released Dr. Death's financial reports. Okay.
Yeah, I read something. I read that they had.
Okay. A couple days ago, Rand Paul was grilling him over it. I don't know, but those are the kinds of things that need to be checked into because I think he's a dirty player. Thank you, Sissy K, for dropping the new link. I really, really, really appreciate it. You mods are just awesome in there. Thank you very much. Um,
Yeah, that's the one. The bushcraft, the bushcraft family. That was the one I think that was demonetized. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know if you follow them, but I've seen him a few times, and I was really just disappointed to hear that. I hope that they can reverse that. But yeah, they're prepping channels. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten on these platforms, and
well, but they're just trying to teach, or they're just why won't they want that just makes me upset. Why wouldn't they want people to learn how to take care of themselves in the case of
well,
an emergency
why?
in an emergency situation? I know, but it was a rhetorical question, really. But that's exactly right. They don't want people to know how to survive, so of course they're going to attack. Ron Johnson, 5.5 hours of testimony by doctors of the Big C, find Rumble and Senator Ron Johnson. I'll check that out. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he
Because
did it was like hearings like challenging the COVID narrative, or he trying to get some truth out there. So I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did. They put the link in the chat. I want to check it out.
see, I can't grab the links.
Yeah, just tell me what you want. I can anything I sent you, I can go and put in the chat. So.
Oh, anything you sent me would be great for the chat.
Yeah,
Because I think
I'll do it.
and it may be um, it may be something that they're not interested in, but don't read it all. If it's something you're not interested in, that's okay. But I find it intriguing that some of the information that I wouldn't have been interested in before, I'm starting to get interested in, and I'll tell you why. Because I can see it having an impact on us now. Maybe not right today, but maybe in 6 months, it's definitely going to start showing some impacts, and we have to at least know. Ham is good. It is. It'll keep forever, and I'm not eating any of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're prepared and you have, if you live a kind of prepared lifestyle, you're not going to be going to the government for help all the time, and they will come into the government. They want the government to be your mommy and daddy. That's what leftists want. So prepping doesn't fit that narrative.
They're looking for the nanny state. They want to tell you you're going to be okay, and well, that's an interesting comment right there. As much as I'd like to see Doctor's financials, I don't think the IRS has the right to release that information. And that's another whole conversation that we're going to get into too, because this face recognition thing. At what point are we going to say enough is enough? Well, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and correct me if I'm wrong, Hawkeye, but he is a public figure. He is the highest paid public figure in the United States. Why would his not be public record? That's that.
Well, certainly, if they're investigating the NIH, if they're investigating COVID origins, or you might be able to make a case that, all of his financial records shouldn't be released, but anything pertinent to money he gets from certain agencies or from pharmaceutical companies, that would be relevant, to an investigation like that. So,
Agreed.
maybe not all of financial records, but if you're investigating somebody who's at a high level in the government, I think the public has a right to know if he's being paid by, um, one of the makers of the jab or that kind of thing, and that would be relevant. Uh, so, I think it's kind of the answer is somewhere in the middle.
Exactly.
And certainly, if you have government positions, you have to file financial disclosure anyway. So that would be public record. Um,
Well, if I was in a position of that, I wouldn't think that it would be unfair for taxpayers to see what they're paying for and where else they're taking money. I mean, I don't believe that that's
I mean, he's not business, or he doesn't work at the local insurance company. He works for the NIH, which is he's taxpayer funded, so it's kind of a different situation.
well, it's all our tax dollars that are going to all these politicians. And I want to let's take it a step further. It's not just the elected officials; these appointed people work for us too. That's our money. We should be able to see what their financials are. If they've got outside sources of money, um, shouldn't we be able to see if they're taking money from some of these other companies? I would think so.
Yeah, and they have to. I mean, members of Congress have to file financial disclosure forms periodically. Any like investments they have. Now, do they fudge some of those numbers or some of the reporting? Probably, uh, but uh, but it is information that the public has a right to know about because they're making policy that can affect those investments that can benefit them. So you have to have that information available.
Hawkeye saying so it was reasonable to release Trump's based on the same argument. Absolutely, I think as long as he was a on the taxpayer payroll, I see no problem with releasing his taxes. I don't think those are the ones that they're after. Um, I think they're after something else. They're what foreign interference for crying out loud. you know, it,
Yeah, well, Trump derangement syndrome is real. So if they're um, pressing this hard for something like that kind of record, it's probably something that they don't have a right to have. You know what I'm saying? He's disclosed plenty, so just like every other elected official. But they're fishing expedition. That's what it is. So. Right, and as Irvin points out, he didn't even take a salary.
that's right.
I think he donated all his presidential salary. So
He did.
but you never hear about that in the press.
But that's something that we all should consider. Um, if we're going to run for office during the time we are in that office, you should be subject to audit, and it should be public record. If it's not, then that should throw red flags everywhere. But I'll bet you can't get Nancy Pelosi's numbers. I'll bet you can't. How did she get so filthy, stinking rich?
Right. Well, and in her case, she has her husband, who is not an elected official. He's got all kinds of financial dealings that, I would say are present real conflicts of interest. We have the same thing with my governor. Um, his wife is invested in testing companies, all kinds of partnerships with CVS for the jab and that kind of thing through her companies and shell companies, all kinds of complicated financial arrangements, let's put it that way, and business investments. So, it's not the governor directly, but his wife. So at what point is that a conflict of interest? That's the conversation we're having in my state. And you could say
Well,
the same thing about Nancy Pelosi.
that's exactly right, because her husband has a government contract to
Right,
the train to nowhere.
right.
That was a $5 billion project, and none of it's done. Where's the money?
Right. And if you had a spouse who had those kind of investments and you were in Congress, you mean to tell me you don't know about them? You're not making decisions that might benefit your spouse?
Right.
Come on, you know?
Nope, that's exactly right. If Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot of world that we're gonna cover a whole lot of world, guys.
I
We
read that they were gonna there somebody was trying to introduce a bill. I can't remember if it was the House or the uh, who introduced it, but that would prohibit members of Congress from owning and trading in stocks and you know at all. I mean, right now they have to disclose any investments, but it would prohibit that. I'm sure that'll go nowhere because they're not going to vote for anything that's going to hurt their wallet.
Oh,
But I have to look into it because I just saw the headline today and I thought it was interesting. I'm kind of curious who would introduce a bill like that. But
yeah. Um, Somebody made a comment there that Salt and Mud made a comment there that they just had tried to financial headlines showing he no longer has as much money as he had when he was office. When he took office, that's true. He's the first president in history that has less money now than he did when he went in.
right.
And I may be
You-
wrong
you-
about that. If I'm wrong about that, I'll retract it. But that's what I've been told.
And Rex says Martha Stewart went to prison for insider trading and Nancy Pelosi went to the Speaker of the House. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Uh,
Good point.
um,
Good
rules
point.
for the rest of us, and they don't live by the same rules, and that's it's it's right in our face, and that has to be uh, addressed. I think people are seeing it more now, but the question is, how do we undo it? Because they've gotten away with it for so long and become so entrenched. Uh, how do you fix that? Um,
Well, we
I
fix it
don't
the
know.
same way. We fix it the same way we let it happen. Yeah, I said 20 years ago that this was coming. I said we keep letting them take more, and I was listening to 16 hours of conservative talk radio every day, driving up down the road instead of sitting in my hometown pushing against this crap. I thought I was doing the right thing, and all I was doing was creating a living and watching my children's future go to shit. I'll take my blame for it. I was lazy. Did I go vote? Yeah. Did I get involved? No. But that's what we have to do. We Even if it's just using your voice to your elected officials.
Now, Call Me Hawkeye said, "Aren't all legal proceedings fishing expeditions of a fashion?" Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously, the discovery process is how you get information out, right? That's how um, the process of discovery means, you are requiring both sides to show everything they got on an issue, but it's not unlimited. I mean, if you're in a legal proceeding, you can't get information that's not really relevant to the case. Your lawyer's going to object to those kinds of things. So yes, it's a limited fishing expedition always, um, but it's circumscribed to some extent. So
Yeah. Well, and Rex has another comment up there that's spot on. I don't know if the number's right, but when they get in trouble for this insider trading, they don't even slap their hand. They give them a chicken shit fine that's 10% of what they stole from somebody, and then they just let them go. If we did that, what do you think the penalty if I got caught insider trading would be?
right, they throw the book at you.
Oh, I would be underneath a jail somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. And it is a little bit surprising that Martha Stewart did time, given that she was a celebrity, but she wasn't a politician. So they had no problem prosecuting her. And, we all know that there are people in Congress that have done much, much worse.
Yeah, and I think if they would just fry one big fish, we would start changing stuff. We talk about fishing expedition. If they just get one of them and publicly humiliate the shit out of them, things might have a chance of changing, maybe.
I definitely want Call Me Hawkeye to come up on your panel all the time, because now he's talking about EOs and how long have we talked about the executive orders and how he's saying that they've gotten out of control. Executive power has gotten so expansive that it's scary. And actually, the more you read these EOs, the scarier it is. What power has been wielded.
Yep. I wish there was a way to do that. Hilarioso too.
Close down I know every time they say, oh, the government might be closed because they have like a funding crisis, a funding issue, and they haven't had the budget. I'm like, what's the problem? Close it.
Yeah, but there's too many moving pieces of it.
Well, because people like military wouldn't get their paycheck. You know what I mean? So it's not that simple, but I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yes. Do I? Yeah. But it's just I used to work for a big corporation. I used to work for Continental Grain back when I was younger. I did well grain, and Continental Grain was one of the world's largest grain producer. They didn't produce any grain; they bought grain, traded it on world markets. Then they become they were control. When I were working for them, they were controlling 80% of the world's meat. That's beef, poultry, and pork. 80% of the world's. Well, then it's went on to become JB Swift. Well, JB Swift got into a big pissing match in Brazil, and they had to break the companies up because they had too much control. We're still seeing the effects of that right now. Look at the the government's come in now and starting to complain about from the farm to the market. The farmer gets paid $1 a pound for his cow, and then they charge you $8 a pound at the grocery store. But the markup is between the and the grocery store. The grocery store is on a set margin. They know what they need to make their money. But in the middle guy's just killing it because they control the whole thing. It's the same thing that my buddy Britt. We're going to get Britt back on here because he'll love talking with you. He's the beef jerky guy. And and he savvies a lot of this. He savvies a lot of stuff. But his dad told me when I was just a young kid, he said, "Boy," he said, and we didn't go to Walmart. We couldn't afford to go to Walmart. It was 50 miles away. We traded local. And he said, "Boy, them people that are going to Walmart are going to kill me one of these days." He said, "They're going to take me out." He said, "One of these days, there's just not going to be a grocery store here." And I had an inkling of an idea what he was talking about. But they could go to Walmart and buy everything. They didn't have to go to the grocery store and buy their groceries and then go get their clothes and stuff. They went to a one-stop shop and saved 10 cents a can of beans. Well, if you bought that same can of beans at Marvin D's grocery store and you wanted to go in there and get him to support the baseball team, he wrote you a check, said, "Is that enough?" Did you go to Walmart? Did they support your baseball team? Hell no, they didn't. They're too greedy. They're anything back into the local economies. Maybe they have, and I'm just, blind to the fact. But your local businesses give more back to your communities than those corporation companies ever will. My opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, absolutely.
Sam Walton was a communist? Wow, I didn't know that. But but now
hadn't heard that.
Britt's got Britt has a beef jerky that it's all over the United States. It's actually worldwide because people send it to our troops overseas and stuff. you can actually go to the website. I'll actually go get that website for us, and you can actually purchase uh, beef jerky to send overseas. I don't get anything for it, but if you have a place to comment, just tell them that we sent you there, because what he does is great. You'll get a discount for veterans, get a discount, and but if you needed something locally, you would go to Brent and say, "Hey, would you sponsor?" He would jump on it. My brother-in-law is the CEO of ConAgra. I'm name dropping. I actually know the the head cattle buyer for ConAgra now.
Okay, wife. Why not?
There
I
we
think
go.
Collie Hawk needs to be a regular panelist. We have to get him his two-factor authentication so he can get
I think
in.
you can email me. That would be
Good.
awesome. If you'll email me at the search for truth58 at gmail.com, we'd absolutely entertain that, because that's a good conversation. We can get we
Yeah,
can get
we'll talk about executive orders, executive power, um, corporatism, all that.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and those are the kinds of things that we should pay attention to, I think. Yep, Guardian, you're exactly right. The government and Wally World are joined at the hip.
Yeah.
Actually, I think a Chinese came in and bought out Wally World some time ago.
And
At least the majority of it.
yeah, and you saw, and we all knew that that was the case before, but then when COVID hit, you saw how much the government and corporations are, tied together. It was right in your face every time you went to buy a tomato at the grocery store. Government or Fauci said we need to, have this protocol. Everybody, the big stores, all went all in on it, all in on the tyranny. So it's a
How many of the little stores did they tell them couldn't open, and why?
right.
There's a lot of them here. The restaurants couldn't open. If they were I was in Carlisle talking to some people there, and those people been in business for 40, 50, and they said one more little slap like that, they're not even going to try to go back into business. Well, all that does is give them more power.
Right, in a big company, they could mask up their employees and insist on all these COVID rules, and it would the owners. They're at home. They're not having to work in these stores, but a little mom and pop store, suddenly had to be install plexiglass and do things that were not really sustainable for a small business, or were very burdensome for them, and was not an equal playing field whatsoever. So you saw the dangers of corporatism very clearly in the past 2 years.
Yeah. Shelley says they have no local owned grocery store there. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Are we still going to send some? Is some of the money still going to go to the bad people? It is, no matter what we do, unless we get back to farmer to the grocery store. Um, uh, I wished I had Cole Twombly's. We're going to get a hold of Cole. We're out in the Oklahoma Panhandle, and he would have a. They've been raising cattle out there generations and generations and generations. And I'll try to hold my cousin Kathy and see if she and her husband will actually come on and talk about some of that stuff. But they're getting murdered out there on their beef prices, and they figured out if they'll go to a local level, if they'll go have it processed and sell it out that away, that they do so much better, because people, they don't have to pay $8 a pound for a ribeye. They can go to them and get it for whatever. Um, a lot of people can't buy a whole beef at a time, but they've I know Twombly's actually, he has he's got it to where he can sell his stuff however you want it. He'll have it processed, and he knows what his customers want, and it's a local bartering system, in my opinion. So those would be some great guests to get on.
Yeah, those are.
And they're great.
I mean, I would I'd love to hear them talk, you know, in depth and firsthand about their experience with that. So
Yeah.
you need a two executive producers to get all these interviews lined up.
Well, if I call them, they'll answer. If somebody else calls them, they may not. I don't know.
That's right. That's right. So
Yeah, I know, but it's just legwork that I've got to do. But Eric could probably call a couple of them and get them going too. But I have bigger plans in the future. I do have. I'd like to put a team together. I was supposed to give you an email today of somebody that reached out again and wants to get involved to help. They want to make things, and I didn't even get a chance to do that.
oh, do you mean email me?
No, I was supposed to give
Oh.
you their email because they're wanting to
Oh.
make things and donate them, and you seem to be about 10 times more organized than I do. You see how goofy I am. We're gonna sometime this week we're gonna get a donation link up for the show. It will be strictly for the show, and we're gonna we're not gonna auction anything off. We're going to for anybody that will donate $1, we'll put their name in the hat for the picture. Would you guys think that would be all right? And the picture's awesome. I don't know whether y'all would entertain that or not. If not, that's okay. I'll try to sell it on a local level.
Yeah, we'll
Because
figure it out.
all that money will be donated back to a good cause. We have some good causes in mind. I don't know whether Irvin's still in here or not, but he and I were talking. He actually bought the plaque, and we've got some great stuff going there. I can't sell raffle tickets because it's a state line. But if anybody donated $1 for each dollar you donated, I'll put your name in a hat and we'll draw it out. Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah, you
guys?
do it as a giveaway or whatever.
Urban, it is actually a reprint. I will find out from Larry who it is, but it's an original reprint. It's okay, Irvin. We're still holding the picture for you. Jeff B actually called today and said if there was any issue, he would still buy the picture. And but I told him what you had in mind, and he said that's an awesome idea. So, thank you very much.
Well, that's cool. I hadn't seen that one.
What's that?
I hadn't seen that one.
Which one? Oh, you haven't seen this picture?
Yeah, no, I saw the flag, but not that one.
Oh yeah. I actually tried to put it up on the website about the time it got taken down.
That's cool.
I'll email you.
Well, yeah. You're going to email me?
Oh,
I'm honored.
Paula, I email you every day. Paula said, I'm old school. We'll send you a check. I'll email her my mailing address. And we'll give it how long do we let it go? Do we let it go 2 weeks, a month? Somebody lets us know. The last one we left up for a month.
I don't know. You'll have to think about that.
Well,
I know you've got a lot of stuff.
I don't want to let it go too long, but if it's 3 weeks long enough, the picture was $150. It was originally priced at that. Lori C says a month's good. Okay. So you don't have email?
We'll mention it you can mention it every night on here and for a month, and should get a good response.
You'll have to send it Pony Express then. But the more money we raise, the more we might be able to do with it, and that's what I'm thinking. Is we could
keep all your receipts.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Patriot Poodle's asking what we're talking about. We're talking about anybody that would donate $1. We will put you in the hat. I can't sell these as raffle tickets, but I can for every dollar donation, I can put your name in a hat, and then we can draw for it. But yeah, $1 a chance should be. Yes, ma'am. If you send $20, you can have 20 chances. That is exactly right. And we'll just do it for a month and see how much money we raise. It could be good. If I think it will, I'll buy $20 worth and give them away random tickets. I'll give away random tickets. I'll give 20 random tickets away once a month or something, or once every 2 weeks. How about it?
That sounds complicated.
Well, I don't know. I'll buy the tickets and throw them in the hat.
Well, you see what and you totally distracted me. I didn't read. I have a message in private chat here, and I didn't see any of them. So sorry, I'm behind. Sorry, didn't mean to mess that up.
Paul's gonna stick a wine bottle and float it to me.
Yeah, there you go.
There
you go. Well, I know you have a lot of stuff going on with the channel, so I'm sure when your daughter comes on, I think she's going to be announcing a lot of it, and I'm anxious to hear. So
we could actually we should probably build a page on Facebook, shouldn't we, for the Search for Truth?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have one. I'm on Facebook for other things. So if you want help with that, or if you want me to set it up, I'm glad to. Like a fan page, probably should have one. People our generation are on there, so.
Yes, Patriot Poodle. If this will actually almost every dime. Well, I'm a little in the hole here, but every dime we've made has gone back into another charity of some sort.
Yeah, I mean the channel itself hasn't made any money.
I actually have had a couple of donations from a couple of people because they just thanked me. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've never made a dime.
Oh, so
I've gotten 3 donations.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and I've tried to do good with it. Yes, it is. It's a church. It looks like it's out in the Oklahoma Panhandle, doesn't it, Shelley?
The other thing, Travis, is I know that the show doesn't have a Telegram group. Do you have an interest in having a Facebook page and a Telegram group?
The Telegram group I don't know about, and I'll tell you why I don't. Because you'll get people that'll go in there and make fake profiles and come in there and stir up shit and stuff like that. I don't have I have PayPal and I hate it. And Zella, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I'll get it. I have Venmo and Cash App for now. And I'll start posting those in the. I'll make a new one so we can make sure that we don't put everybody's panties in a twist.
Well, the problem with Telegram too is that I know your phone blows up all day long, and Telegram is just going to make it worse because you get notifications all day. I mean, it'd be good for if you just wanted to post links and stuff in there, but if you have a chat group, people post messages, and it does get, there's a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people on there, so you get something to think about. But if you want, I'm happy to help you and just set up a fan page for the show, and you can drop links and things on there, and you can actually you can share out your YouTube stream. So
right. And maybe that is a good idea. The Facebook, if we create a page, we could actually stream to that page as well, couldn't we?
Well, you could live stream on. You could do Facebook Live.
Yeah. Well, I think I can actually tie it to this stream. to restream.
Oh,
And
yeah. Well, and I know if Brandon is working on switching over to a new, streaming platform, I'm sure you could do it. You could stream it out to Facebook as well. So,
I
yeah,
can, and
yeah.
I actually tried to tie this to my Facebook too, and I don't want it going on my personal one because I already get enough stuff on Facebook. I actually have ghosted Facebook a long time ago. I very rarely go on Facebook.
Yeah, we can. I mean, just set up set up a profile for the show,
Right.
and then do a fan page. Yep.
Okay. I don't know how to tie that to it, so you'll have to
Yeah,
explain.
I can help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate the help. And that's right. We can turn the Telegram stuff off.
I
We
mean, if you
can't.
really want to push the envelope, we can set up a Twitter profile and see how long it takes you to get censored and taken down off Twitter. That'd be fun.
I actually had a Twitch, and Zoom was the only one that ever went over there and watched me. Yeah, we can take Facebook. Um, Urban, have you got a Facebook? That'd be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, Facebook. You can. They have a payment option. Well, maybe that's what will. If you in Brandon our meeting this weekend, if you want to um, conference call me in and we can talk about what to do with Facebook, so it's all core to him. Um, and I think he's going to have to be the keeper of all passwords and things like that because you want them all in one place. So I'm happy to do the Facebook part for you. I mean, I don't do a lot on Facebook, but I'm on there for business stuff, and so I keep the profile going.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook to keep up with my children and my grandchildren. That's it. I
Yeah.
don't. I very rarely comment. I very rarely like anymore. I just don't. Um, I get enough stuff to do as it is. But anyway, those are all great ideas, and hopefully Ariel gets feeling better tomorrow, and she can come over and give you her 2 cents.
Yeah, she's the person with all the announcements. So, um,
You know, my
I'm
daughter
sorry.
is a big part of my world, and I trust her judgment. This is her deal. She pretty much told me this is her show, and she's gonna do what she wants to do with it.
Well, that tells you what her announcements are going to be like. But that's it, but in a good way because she's so.
Well, we agree.
I
Oh,
think
well, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. You'll get to see her come uncorked sometime. She is a sweetheart, but she can. If you poke her the wrong way, she's coming at you. I'm telling you. She made some comments about some of the comments that were made to you, and ooh, uh,
well.
she comes on here and ranting. That's her business.
Well, I'll lay low. Well, I'm sorry that it was. I had to sub last minute, but
Well,
I
I'm
know
sorry.
everyone was expecting a good guest, but
Uh,
I did my best.
I'm gonna try to get all the girls on here one night. We're only gonna get Tabitha in chat. She's not getting on no camera, and she ain't talking to nobody.
Well, she's smart.
Oh, she's
That's
very smart.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's yeah she's probably had 2 spankings in her whole life and probably been yelled at 3 times.
Well, I know that some changes are coming to the channel, just in terms of um, programming and where you want to take it in the direction. And we've talked about it a little bit in terms of the content. So I think right now things are a little bit in a transition, and like you said, you're kind of keeping things a little, I don't want to say locked down, but kind of close, everything kind of the circle kind of small for now.
Well, and it's
And
not that I'm trying to keep it small. I don't want to throw the link out into the chat anymore because the tech people are telling me that may be where some of our problems are coming from.
yeah,
So I have to send a private invite.
yeah. For now, I mean, yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're such an open person and friendly, and you want to include everybody. So, and if anybody in chat wants to be up on panel, the best thing to do is email Travis, or you can email me too if you have my email, and I'll forward it to him. And that way, that's just how it's going to have to run for the short term anyway. So
until we know whether we've got everything straightened out. There's another couple things that we're working on that have caused us some issues, and we're just trying to be careful. You know, I got a screenshot from another channel saying that we didn't get hacked. Bullshit. Somebody got in. Well, my avatar was on the screen. When I come in here, it was a blank screen. There was nothing there. The only thing that was running in the background. So,
well, I mean, as long as you've got it under control, and I think Brandon's gonna do a lot to keep to beef up just the security and like the passwords and things like that, and he might be getting to the keeper of all that. Hopefully it'll solve that problem. I don't know.
And it will, but until I get all these, till he tells me that it's okay to just throw that thing out there anymore, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And checking it, I've got some other people looking into it too. One person suggests that some of that came from Australia. I don't know. I don't have any idea. I can just tell you that it came from somewhere. And we'll be real careful for a little bit.
Well, I don't have any other content. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on being on tonight, but we'll see what happens. What's tomorrow? Friday?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Oh, already.
Freaky Friday.
What is it, Goosey, letting the non-disclosure flow according? No, I think I don't know what that means. I don't have anything to do with any like fundraising or anything like that. So I don't know. The record keeping is all with Travis. So I don't know if that's what they mean. I mean, you don't have a nonprofit organization yet.
Technically, I don't. That's something I'm going to have to set up.
Even
if I run it through the Search for Truth, I think there's a way to do it, and it'll be a wash at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, well, you'll just have to get the bookkeeping and everything set up, before you do any of that stuff. So,
right.
Yeah, get it all on paper.
One of those channels pin it in the top there.
I'm not advising anything else. So, who you want Travis's email? Travis, I'm going to put you in chat for.
I'm actually in there now.
Okay. So I'll put my email. If you have any trouble, if you got blocked accidentally or anything like that, you can. Some people emailed me, and I forwarded. Travis took care of it. So, you said you had somebody who wanted to make things, or for the show. I'm going to put my email in here if they want to talk to me about it.
Well, I've actually got. You can do that, but I've actually got her email, and
okay.
I'll actually email you both together tomorrow.
Okay.
She reached out to me way back in the day, and it seems to me like every day I get busier and busier and busier and busier and busier.
Yeah, well, hopefully, like I said, I know I talked to your daughter, and so I offered help any way I can, like with the Facebook page, but she's going to be kind of, I think, the point person for a lot of the moving pieces, moving parts.
Well, I'll tell you this much. She has a very big plan, and it has a structure behind it, and she and I agree on it, and it'll be a sound structure.
Yeah.
And when she gets when she gets to feeling better, we'll get her on here and let her lay out her plan. She's going to open the show one night she's going to come on screaming, "Hey bitches, I'm telling you right now, that's just how it's going to be." She is a blast, but don't take anything she says personally, because she's just talking smack.
That's all right. That's all right. But she's going to be, I think she's going to be good for the channel. And, we all care about you, and we all care about your show, and we all, we know what a big heart you have and all that. But no one cares about you more than her and the kids. So I think that's kind of a good buffer. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, and I'll take it a step further. My ex-wife actually sent me a text message the other day and said that if I'd have started this 3 years ago, I probably would have been through my storm a little better. And she's right. Susie, I don't know. I sent him a link. I texted him a link. I haven't even seen him in chat. Did you see David in chat?
Nope.
Yeah,
you mean panel, David? Nope.
She is pretty salty, but she's straight up. I'll have to teach her that not pay attention to chat, because somebody says something to her, she'll kill them off strategically. She won't be like some of the other guests that we've had on here that'll go completely off rails. She'll be strategic, but she will come ablazing, I can tell you.
That's good. Well, I say no live streams until she comes on, because she's got the plan. So,
but she does. She has a structure. She has a reason behind her structure. I trust her judgment, and she's getting her involved is actually going to be a good thing for her too, because then she's going to have something else to do, and hopefully this thing will get so busy that she has to do a bunch of this, and she doesn't have time to go get in any trouble. For those of you who don't know, my daughter is an addict, and she's in a place getting dried out, and she's really getting involved. She spent a month with me, did really, really well. And I'm very, very proud of her. She'll watch this tomorrow. She knows I'm proud of her, and I want to get her involved, because helping people is the best medicine. I've been in some pretty tough situations and helped people out, and it's paid off tenfold. And I believe it's important. We have to know our neighbor, love our neighbor, help our neighbors, even if you're mad at them. Communities building is going to be key in the environment that we're headed for politically. Wow, we're definitely
especially when you're mad at them.
Right. Even though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, well, I think on that note, I think I'm out of steam for tonight. Now you could stay on for the next 18 hours. I'm sure your fans would love that, but
no, I'm not. I'm actually mentally exhausted, because I've got so many things that are going on in my head, and there's so many things that are bothering me, and there's so many things that I see going good, and so many things that I see going bad. I haven't slept for 3 days.
I know.
I go to sleep at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and get up at 10.
Yeah.
It's my mind is racing in many directions. We'll talk about a lot of that stuff as some of this stuff unfolds. But I've got things that are really bothering me that I want to be able to try to fix.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. You know how to eat? Yeah, you know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
My problem is I want to take half of it and eat it at one time, and eat the other half tomorrow and be done.
Yeah.
But my mind's getting at ease finally. Thank you, Sue. She is doing very, very well. I'm so proud of her. But it's going to get easier. I got to put everything in a file, put it in perspective, and it'll be okay. Nonprofit for a search entity sounds really oddly like a political beyond, but great for having accountability for you. Well, that would actually, yeah, because and I will never, ever accept a donation for somebody else ever again. I will show them, but I'm never. And I think we ought to stick to, keeping it maybe maybe we pick in our community here and help some there. I want to do it in a local level. I've actually got some feelers out for the grocery stores for people that they know are struggling. And in the next little bit of money we do, I'm going to go through there and buy their groceries for them. I think it'll be awesome. I probably won't even live stream it.
Well, like I said, I know that's kind of where you're heading, and it's where you started with the channel. And I think, given everything, just make a plan and you know, do one thing at a time, and it'll all work out. And the channel, like the content for the channel, is kind of one thing. The charity initiatives, are maybe a little more complicated and are going to take some time to set up properly, but you'll get there too. It's like
Well,
with all of that. And I told you that from the very beginning. I said, you have really high expectations for yourself, and you want to do a lot, but you can't burn yourself out, and you can't do it all at once. You got to ease into it. So,
and I'm not that guy though. I
I
like to
know.
hit the floor. I like to hit the floor running, and I'll be out the door before the shirt hits my back if I can ever get any traction. And Brandon's going to be a big asset to this thing too. Um, we we have some we have some. I think we have some great players that that are that are going to come, that I hope will come to the table and kind of help us a little bit, and maybe will direct us in the right direction. I'm not good at organization. I'm good at pushing. I'm good at pushing, but I'm not good at organization. I can tell you that right now. And the more people get to know me, they'll understand that. You know, my life is normally a mess because I live in chaos. But once I pick a goal and I start towards that goal, I will get that goal. Um, Two of my ex-wives have actually said, I've never seen you not accomplish anything, and this is not going to be one of them.
Shelly, I was asking if I have a Telegram group. I just dropped the link in the chat. Like we were talking about, Travis is not sure he wants to do one for the show. I do have one. I post all political links in there. So anybody's welcome to join that if they want to, but it's not really affiliated with this show. But a lot of the links that I send Travis are things that I put in that Telegram. So
And
kind of like doing homework for the show.
she doesn't necessarily get them from Telegram either. She researches her stuff.
Oh, I get links from over. Some of it is a little more focused on Connecticut because that's small. It's a small group, but there are people local here that asked me to just kind of. I used to do live chats on there on Sunday nights, and but it's all kind of interesting stuff. I'm going to put more about the election stuff on there. So anyone, like I said, the chat, the link is in the chat. Maybe we'll convince Travis to do one for the show, but we'll start with Facebook.
I actually do have Telegram. I'm not sure how you manage it. Is a chat good in there? I don't know.
Well, you could create a group. So you have your personal Telegram, but you could create a group for the show. That's how you would do it.
How about we do a mods group to start with? Would you mods entertain that idea of having a mods group? I lost my chat.
I think, well, you just need to get everybody's phone number and invite them to the group.
Hang on here. Lily J says, I will be calling you tomorrow. I have something I want to present to you. I really think it's good, and you followers will enjoy. Let me know what's a good time. Lily J, you can call me anytime. I'll answer the phone. Okay, I'll call you. I'll call you after. You can call me as soon as I end the stream. I'll be glad to do that too. Lily J's an awesome person. She's donated to me twice. Love her to pieces. They're kind people. They see our message and they see we want to help. Those are the kind of people we want on our team, and we want to go out and get more people like that, like-minded people. Let's build a community within the world, and let's do something. awesome. Sorry, I just saw that and ADHD'd it.
Well, that's how you always do it. If you do it right away or you forget. So
That's exactly right.
that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Well,
So
I'm the kind of guy that if you present something to me and I take care of it right now, it's done. I'm a procrastinator. Once it goes past 15 minutes, you're done, and I'm messed up, and I'm going to get yelled at. That's the normal for me. You've never yelled at me. I'm just kidding. Oh goodness! But I think we have a great bunch of people that are coming together, and thank each and every one of you for coming. I love you guys. That's right, Super B Dub. Helping others is a blessing. I don't know whether y'all know Brian or not, but he is a good person. He's always, always, always answered the phone when I call him. Tyrone, done with them reps. He's been over lifting weights. Okay.
there's Tyrone.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I said there's Tyrone. I was wondering. He usually is in the chat. So
He's always lifting weights. His muscles are probably bigger around than his forearms are bigger around him, or his forearms are probably bigger around than my head. I'm just a little scrawny feller. 165 soaking wet.
Travis, you have one of the mods is offering to help you do a Telegram channel if you want. So
Yeah, it's Zoom.
that would be great.
Yep, Jason. Absolutely. Actually, Jason, you've got my number. You can call me anytime. You know that, brother. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'm good with Telegram. I can use it. I could set up a voice call if everybody wants to have a voice call. But as far as managing, yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm just not good with it. I'm not good at the organizational part of things. I have to have things are in a specific place. My Mountain Dew goes here, my mouse goes here, my cigarettes go here, and this is my heater remote control. So I have a structured thing. 250 pounds worked out every day. Shit, you'd bench press me with one arm, brother. That's a pretty big color right there.
Well, Travis, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. I tell you what, we're going to get out of here, guys, because I know I've got a couple phone calls that are coming. Joy, thank you for coming in and joining. Remote, I don't know whether Remote's here or not. Thank you for coming in and blessing our new wave adventure, and we're gonna slowly drip out some stuff. I'll reach out to David and find out what happened to him. And love you guys. You guys are awesome, and let's start. I want to make a difference in the world. I really do. So I'll pray us out. Dear Lord, thank you for this chat. Thank you for these people. Pray for my daughter to get better, Lord. She's got a headache. She's got the coof, and she's going to be fine. We know she is, Lord, because you're going to lift her up and get her out of that bed tomorrow, and she's going to feel better. There are so many people that are suffering in our chat, Lord. Help them in any way that they need help. Let them see when help is coming, because sometimes we're too blindsided by the things we're not recognizing, Lord. And God bless each and every one of you in this chat for coming here every night and spending your time with us. And we're going to try to make this a fun and interesting show, Lord. Please help us direct this in the right direction. We want to help. Please let us be here to help. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right. Love you, Travis.
Love you too. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in here and rescuing me, because sometimes I just need somebody to give me some feedback, and I usually depend on Whoop Whoop to do that, and I don't know where he's at. So I do thank you. Know your neighbor, love your neighbor, help your neighbor, build a community. That's what we do. I don't care if our community is worldwide. Let's stick together. Had a good night. I thought we had a fun night. Love y'all. Joy, thank you again. I will talk to Arian and see what the scoop is with her tomorrow. May take us a couple nights.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.